most of the work we're going to do to be ready for pandemic 2, I call this pandemic 1.
Pandemic 2.
We need more money to plan for the second pandemic. There's going to be another pandemic. There's going to be another pandemic. There's going to be another pandemic.
If and when a new strain of flu, like the Spanish flu, crops up, 5 years from now,
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got some news about the WHO. We've got some news about Bill Gates' mosquito factory. I was unaware of this, but now I am, and I need to share it with you. We've got some just vaccine news, really. And Billy G's all over the place. You know, he's always whipping up a petri dish for something. And we can bank on more pestilence in the future. I'm positive of it because that's what they're saying.
I like your nickname for him, Billy G.
Billy G.
Let me
is
just
not
tell
my
you,
savior.
He has got his hands in everything.
He's not the one.
So let's start with this breeding 3 million mosquitoes every week in these factories that Bill Gates is involved in. He's got two, one in Colombia and one in, looks like, Africa. And he's spending, like, I think when I last looked, it was like 185 million so far in just the one in Colombia.
Yeah, and they're touting some big facts of how the dengue outbreaks are down 89% since they started doing this way back in 2015. But instead of me trying to pick through all this literature, I'm going to roll the footage, I think. I think I'm going to roll the footage of what this factory is doing, and I want your thoughts on it. So roll it.
I'm Scott O'Neill here in Medellin, Colombia today, and I'm at the world's biggest mosquito factory for the World Mosquito Program. We're making in here 30 million mosquitoes a week. Come and have a look. We're doing it for a very serious reason. Cities like Medellin have suffered from diseases like dengue, Zika, chikungunya for decades, but not anymore. We've been able to bring the solution of Wolbachia mosquitoes to this city. When this bacteria called Wolbachia gets introduced into the mosquito, it stops their ability to transmit dengue. We release mosquitoes that have Wolbachia. Now they go and mate, and Wolbachia gets passed into the wild mosquito population. If we're going to control these diseases in all the tropical cities of the world, it's going to require a lot of mosquitoes. The mosquito life cycle starts with the egg, and in this room, we've got a lot of eggs. Each one of these strips, these tiny black dots, are up to 10,000 mosquito eggs. Across all of these strips, about 1.5 million dried eggs waiting to hatch. In this tray, we've got the newly hatched eggs. They're little larvae, so small you can hardly see them. They're going to sit in here for a few days and eat and get bigger until they look like these ones over here. They're starting to turn into pupae. We're wanting to do the next step of sorting the males from the females. We want to do that so we can manipulate the sex ratio in the cages to be more female than male. The bottom ones along here are the boys, and the ones at the top are the girls. They're bigger. From here, they're going into the adult cages. We have adults that we continuously grow in what we call our brood stock. And then over here, we have the mass-produced mosquitoes getting ready to give us the eggs to go out directly into the field. It's crazy how they sound. You might wonder, what do we feed all these mosquitoes here? Well, I can tell you, we've got the good stuff in here. On the top shelf, literally, we've got the blood. They love it. Once the mosquitoes are grown, they're ready to go out into the field.
So you saw the footage. Like I said, let me know what you think. And keep in mind, they're rolling these out in 11 different countries. They've already put them in the United States, in Florida and in California.
So very interestingly, you guys, if you look, and you guys can go online, some of this is with the World Health Organization also. They, in 2021, it looks like they did about 150,000, and they called them genetically modified mosquitoes. They are injecting stuff into these mosquitoes. Like we said, that's how many a week, that if you watch the video, that's how many a week that they are producing. And interestingly enough, if you notice that guy, he gave them genders. He said boy and girl. He said, when we see, I was like, well, he's not politically correct. And then, so in 2021, they did that. And then 2022, they released 2.4 billion genetically modified mosquitoes. And interestingly, it's always in Florida, and then it's in California on the other side of the United States. So we're for 2 years in a row. So I don't know what 2023 they're going to release, but 2021 and 2022, they have been releasing them.
And
you guys read this. It's here.
yeah, and this is news you can get on the internet and just go down the rabbit holes. There's plenty of them. We spent several hours looking at all this stuff, and it's overwhelming.
It is.
These are just the facts. This
Yep.
isn't doom or fear porn. You know, I get a lot of that in the comments. This is just the news that I want people to be aware of, because there will be pestilence in the end times, and I think we're here.
Well, Bill Gates, if you guys just Google, I challenge you, just Google Bill Gates and vaccines. Just put it out there.
Or DuckDuckGo.
We'll just look it up. It's the amount of money that he has spent into all this stuff. He is obsessed with vaccines and mosquitoes. They said he is extremely obsessed with it. He actually just,
No, go ahead. I was
You know,
going
he
to talk
just-
about the newest Novavax.
Yep, go for it.
And this was on Monday. Novavax plans to share its powerful vaccine technology with the Bill and Melinda Gates Medical Research Institute, which could help develop shots for major health threats like malaria, tuberculosis, and other diseases. The organization's website is saying it's focused on programs to tackle tuberculosis, and known as TB, malaria, diarrheal disease, and maternal, newborn, and child and
Yep,
maternal
that's it.
and newborn child illnesses in low and middle income countries. And it's, you know, he says, and I watched several clips of him talking about it, and he says the world is overpopulated, and he shows the chart going up. And then he says the only way that we can combat this is to make the population healthier, because a healthy family doesn't procreate as much. That makes absolutely zero sense, none whatsoever.
He also says vaccinated. He said if you're vaccinated, you're more healthy. They push these vaccines, and you guys, you decide for yourself, but he is so pro-vaccination, and he's into all these different companies. Keep going with it, though, but that's his latest deal. Oh, and by the way, it was very interesting. Chris and I looked, as soon as this came out, it was yesterday morning, and the stock started going up.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
check out Novavax. I'm not telling you to buy it, but, you know, I'm not sure how you feel about making money on something like that.
Well, Bill Gates is also, he and the World Health Organization, you guys, I mean, they are like tight. They have it called a program, it's called ACT, or it's called Accelerator. It's a program that was started in 2020 based on what all the events that were happening at that point, and it is known as COVAX. And you guys look it up, COVAX, and their purpose through the World Health Organization and Bill Gates, it clearly states it is organized by the World Health Organization, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the European Commission, and we'll actually talk about that in a minute because they're kind of involved in some other stuff too. But in there, they clearly state they would like, their goal is to have at least minimum 70% of the world population vaccinated. And their saying is no one is safe until everyone is safe. That is what the COVAX is saying. So you guys look it up, World Health Organization. It is all right there on their website. I did not know this on the mosquitoes though, that they are actually they're genetically manipulating.
Yeah.
So what else are they doing?
That's their thing. They want to modify DNA with these jabs, and they want to send these billions of mosquitoes out. You know, who knows the implications? These people are trying to play God.
That's what they said. That's actually what they said. Bill Gates is trying to play God.
It's obvious. Well, let's go on to the WHO, because this just came out. All this is news right now.
Yep.
This isn't, you know.
Yesterday, today.
Yeah. June 2023, right now. The WHO will take up the European Union system of digital COVID-19 certification to establish a global system that will help facilitate global mobility and protect citizens across the world from ongoing and future health threats. So they're banking on that, and they want a way to watch mobility. It's all about control. They want to know everything and anything. And you can get this straight off the WHO website. This isn't some, other website talking about it. It's actually them. And I want to give you the acronym. It's GDHCN. It's Global Digital Health Certification Network. And
So,
Go ahead.
so you guys just let that sink in a minute. So you've got a World Health Organization, and they are coming out and saying we're about to have a global digital health certification network. So they even came out and said this is going to help, when you go overseas or you need help anywhere. Or so that means your health, I guess everything that they know about you, here we go again, control, they're going to know everything about you, is going to be on this digital system. And they're saying it's all in the name of your safety because if you're traveling. But let that sink in a minute. That means everything that you tell your doctor is no longer going to be in confidence. It's going to be out there.
And the way they've got it worded is riddled with keywords. The WHO aims to offer all WHO member states, which is about 80 countries, access to open source digital health tool which is based on the principles of equity, innovation, transparency, data protection, and privacy. So they got to put that privacy cherry on top.
I think that privacy is not going to exist.
Yeah, privacy, freedom of speech, all that stuff is done been gone, if you ask me. So watch it, check it out, look at the website for yourself. It's just, it's here, The WHO is the opposite of what, it's like the Ministry of Love in the book 1984, if you're familiar with that.
Yep.
It's opposite of what they say. So let me know what you think, guys.
Yeah, well, just keep your eye on Bill Gates and the World Health Organization because they are so tight and they keep having deals they're doing together.
And watch where the philanthropy goes.
Yep.
Because, 2 or 3 years later, that's where something big happens.
Yep.
He's early. It's kind of like the guy that worked on the railroad with my dad. He was a big fireman, right? Well, he would start fires and then show up as the hero putting them out. Really? It's the same difference. Yeah. So, have an awesome, awesome day, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Later.